Hi guys, I'm Tiffany and I'm the campaign manager at ZV-E10. We're here at Euston, as you can see behind me. We're heading over to Begala, which is the hardest place to say, in North Wales, so we can build the UK's most remote camera store for World Photography Day. So we're going to be vlogging our journey, but for now I'm really tired and I need coffee and breakfast, so George is going to introduce himself and I'm going to go gather some snacks.
So hey guys, I'm George. I'm a filmmaker that's going to be sort of making some content around this trip to Snowdonia, but I'm not going to get into that too much right now. We're just going to vlog our journey, basically just our trip down there. As you can probably see, we've got like a ridiculous amount of stuff, so let's get on the train.
Hey guys, so we're here in Bangor. We've probably been travelling now for about 6 or 7 hours, but we're definitely ready to get some lunch before we head over to Bangor. So for anyone who's wondering, we're currently shooting on the Sony ZV-E10 with an 11mm 1.8 lens attached to it, and we're using the audio in camera. We are going to switch audio a little bit. We might use some Rode mics later in the day, but for now we're going to grab some snacks and then we're going to continue our journey.
So we just got to the town that we're staying in, which I'm really can't pronounce. I'm going to make Tiffany do that. Bengalat, not exactly sure. But it's an absolutely gorgeous town. Like behind us you can see just this nice river. We're surrounded by the mountains. It's really nice. And we're about to head up actually to the mountain to go get an Instagram reel. Okay, so myself and Tiffany were just walking up the mountain. This is actually the first time we've seen the mountain. We just really recently arrived in the town. The town is actually lovely. There's actually a little steam rail track here, which is pretty cool. We're just sort of scouting out spots, but it's absolutely gorgeous here.
This is day 2 of our trip to North Wales. We are pretty much ready to do some filming today of our documentary work and some more vlogging, and we'll also show you our journey as we go. But first, we've been joined by Paul.
Hello.
Do you want to introduce yourself, Paul?
I will indeed. My name's Paul Wareham and I am the marketing director at Wex Photo Video, so happy to be here.
Excellent. So we're going to get going, and George, our cameraman, is going to be filming us as we go. We might switch around and show you some of what he's doing as well, but otherwise we're going to get going. So we can't go up the mountain today because the weather's not fantastic, so we'll be doing that tomorrow, but for today we're going to try out the Xperia and see if we can get some reels. So I'm going to give it to Paul to show you how good it is. It's got its own stabilisation, it's got some really good settings inside, so let's head down here and see what we can get.
So Paul, how much do you know about cameras and camera settings?
Very little, George. I'm ashamed to say, working for a photography retailer.
Okay, so how do you think you're going to get on with this Xperia?
I am 50-50 in terms of how well or how bad this will be, but I'm quietly confident. It looks fairly straightforward and easy to use, so we'll give it a go. There's Tiffany, taking some time out. Unbelievable. I like this. I generally do like this. There's so many more options here that you can pick and choose from that influences what it is you're actually shooting, which I don't think you typically get on a normal sort of mobile. So that's really cool. It's not too big either. It's big enough, but it's not too big. It feels quite comfortable to use. I just wish I knew how to use it. Oh, nearly. Oh no, because the camera's on me. Let me get a better one.
How are you doing this?
I don't really know, to be honest. Misspent youth. But you want to be as flat to the water as possible.
Right, okay, that makes all the sense.
And quite hard. You've got to throw it quite hard.
Right, that's my specialty.
Just don't fall in.
Again.
Definitely get this, George. She's going in. Nearly. If you threw it a bit
Nailed it.
harder, that would have been okay.
Nailed it.
So myself and Tiffany are on our day off. Yesterday we had the big day, basically, where we actually shot like the UK's most remote. So we got like a huge team up. It was a really big day. It was a really long day. We really wanted to be up there again today, but unfortunately we can't be due to weather restrictions. So we're just basically gonna go for a little stroll. The town here is incredibly gorgeous. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get some B-roll for some other pieces, just to sort of capture the local environment, and we'll talk you through it as we do.
So we're currently in Bev Gullet, and obviously it's absolutely hammering it down, but also they have ice cream, so I have no shame. So George is going to attempt to get some shots of the river, which is quite dramatically rapid today, and obviously much more full of water. So we're going to go and record him shooting some BTS. I'm secretly hoping he falls in, just because it would be really funny. But let's, for his sake, hope that doesn't happen.
As I'm getting these shots and I'm able to drop them in, one of the things that's really cool about the fact that I can easily drop them in is the fact that basically I'm shooting on the Sony a7S III. It's a lot more expensive camera than the ZV-E10. It's considered more professional. That's more vlogging style. This is a lot more cinematic. But despite that, we can shoot in the same color profiles. So it's really cool because basically I can easily drop in this footage and the colors will be the same. So my color grading workflow is the same, the look will be the same, which basically means that even though these are two different cameras of significantly different price points, they can be edited into a video, one and the same. Tiffany just said to me that she was actually really impressed with basically how steady the footage is. And I was just saying to her, so we've turned on the active mode of stabilization in this camera. I've never really used anything like that. If you were to pan and quite suddenly stop panning, the camera, because of this active mode of stabilization, there's obviously some form of crop there, so it's utilizing the crop. So what it does is when you stop suddenly, the camera sort of will continue to pan and glide out and like really smooth out that motion. Also though, I will also be a little bit critical, because I think it's only fair to, that actually if you shake it, the active mode actually is almost counteracting that a little bit. Because when you shake it, if you do like micro jitters, it's basically the stabilization is trying so hard to get you a stable shot that if you shake it, it removes all of the shake, which sounds fantastic, but actually I've noticed it creates like little bits of distortion in the image, so the image just goes a little bit wobbly. So yeah, the active mode sort of comes with some upsides, some downsides. I think it's going to be appropriate for certain shooting scenarios, but actually if you're in a really jittery scenario, I wouldn't go for the active. I'd probably just go for the standard stabilization, because you will get more jitter, but actually I think you'll end up with a much cleaner image. So it just kind of depends on what environment you're in. Hey, so we're just climbing up the mountain. This is our final day. So we're just about to start the climb. We've done like a little bit, but nothing really, nothing major. But we're about to start the climb, so we'll keep you updated as we go.
You can't hear me, but it's pretty rocky, pretty windy.
Hey guys, so we've now made it up to the top. You can actually just see just behind us, there is the store itself. Now it's really, really windy up here, so we've actually switched to our lapel microphones. But yeah, we just hiked up. It was really difficult. I mean, I don't know if you have anything you have to say about it, Tiff?
Yeah, it was definitely a challenge for the last sort of third, but I think it's because we've climbed it a few times, so my legs are definitely starting to burn, but the view in front of me now that Snowdon's appeared is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I'll just flip it around, because actually when we initially climbed, it was quite foggy. Like, it was all right until sort of 75% of the way up the mountain, but then it just got really, really foggy, and we were a bit worried that, much like actually the other day, that it would just be really foggy basically the whole time. But then once we got up here, we sat down, we warmed up a little bit, and then actually the sun came out, the fog cleared, and we're just left with these absolutely gorgeous views. We really hope you've enjoyed the video. You know, this is just sort of like a behind the scenes vlog. You know, we've done a lot of quite streamlined, quite really nice, really clean content. So we thought we'd actually just sort of add to that by giving you something that's a bit more real. So that's why we've been doing these vlogs the whole time. Let us know if you've enjoyed it. Whenever we do projects like this in the future, if you have enjoyed it, we'll keep doing it. So yeah, just let us know. And I really hope you've enjoyed this video from Wex Photo Video.